Hello, yes, Mexi people, welcome back to another video.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Bernardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Destinies-STONE was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lupino needed rescuing. Of course, Bernardo had a pretty strong suspicion that Lupino had betrayed the rebellion. And he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
Yeah, hello, yes, Mexi people, and welcome back to another video of Search for Destinies part. I forgot what part it is, but let me go check. And here's the thing, but we're gonna continue playing this, and we're done with the main story. We got the main ending, and we're just gonna like finish getting all the endings. So this is part 22. And part 21 was the main ending, but
the island was windswept desert.
We're going to continue playing.
No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Destinies-STONE. It would whisper promises in his ear, offer him power for blood. But this time, Bernardo was sure he could master it. And so, Bernardo went ostrich hunting.
Where's the guy like 30 more endings to go with this? There's like 25 in total. The 25 one is the true ending, which I already got. So it's gonna be story 6.
Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Destinies-STONE? Long hidden in the buried temple? Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now, drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals? What was he doing here? Last time, the stone had fought him for possession of his own soul. Story time. Go on, believe, Raven. Now we'll never find out how it ended.
Oh, how I'm dying for some reason.
The Ravens were already here. Cawing in frustration. They were still searching for a way in. Good. And he hadn't come too late. Well, he'd always wanted to do that. Bernardo told the corpses. It was something he'd seen in a play once.
Wait, what? How was he outside? Hadn't he taken an elevator into the depths of the earth?
So does a lot of damage, that's great.
That had gone rather well, actually. There had to be some way to use the Destinies-STONE. It was old, wasn't it? People are so much cleverer now. And Renato was pretty sure he was cleverer than most people.
My ass. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Danced around the room yelling, oh yeah, that's how we do it. It was something he liked to do, but only after he'd killed all the witnesses.
Bro, I love being a hero.
In your next life.
Ow.
The Ravens at least could not get past this point. Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders.
Now I can see the recharge. Oh, what the fuck?
Renato hated cannon traps. Also, who reloaded these things anyway? He never figured that part out. It was a stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up. I can make you mighty. Who said that? Give me blood. It was the stone. Eager, thirsty.
Let's skip this. We really know.
That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once, and he had a sneaking suspicion the gem would try to control him. Why not capture the core of Sky Ripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. It's the core, said the stone anxiously. But even though Renato knew how evil the gem was, he had a clever plan for dealing with it.
Alright, let's go find Zenobia.
Why was he listening to a talking rock?
Alright, let's skip this because we already know the whole story.
As he placed the impossibly black crystal in his gauntlet, Renato had a sudden vision. Charred fields covered in dead ravens below a black sun.
Was it the time of the lost gods before the transcendent emperor? Was it the future? Feed these souls, it whispered. Take the power. He could feel the stone's hunger for souls, its thirst for blood. All right, I get it. This was going to be interesting.
I'll really feel school over. I'll say that right now.
The ravens on Zenobia's island were no match for Renato. They screamed as the stones sucked out their souls.
That's horrible.
And with each death, he felt stronger. Take the power, the stone told him.
He couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he? Hey, why don't you guys fight in groups? Oh, I know. Because there's no I in team.
Oh, it's horrible. I think it was pointless, but yeah.
Zenobia was waiting for Renato.
Where's that Pino?
You got such delicious looking eyeballs! Go on, lead, Raven. Thank you, I think, said Renato. Never heard to be polite. Finally, Renato caught up to her. He had never seen her scared before. At school, she'd been the determined, brave one. Now her eyes were wide, frightened. He didn't like seeing her this way. Kill her, whispered the stone. You cannot win your rebellion without it. Please. No, said Zenobia. Not that way. Oh, they had been so close once. Could he really feed her soul to his demonic gem? But if he spared her, he would not get the full power of the stone. Oh, how could he be the hero he wanted to be?
Reynardo hesitated. Zenobia was his greatest enemy. She was the Emperor's daughter and his greatest general, and the single person Reynardo least wanted to remove from this world, especially that way. She was holding her arms out before her, hands fluttering, fending him off with hopeless urgency. Nope, she was weaving a spell. He couldn't move. This thing is evil, she said. She slid the Destinies-STONE out of its slot in his gauntlet and slipped it into a bag. Maybe we can learn from it. She eyed him with a strange, wry, apologetic look. I missed you too. And before he could move again, she was gone. Learn from the Destinies-STONE? What did that mean? Would she take it to the palace or to the observatory on the Nexus? If she thought it was evil, she wouldn't want it in the palace. And, after all, it was evil, wasn't it? Maybe I can outrace her to the observatory, thought Reynardo. Cats can run faster, but foxes can run longer. Reynardo felt a little sick. Ever since Zenobia had taken the stone from him, he'd felt an ache that wouldn't go away. He missed it. He wanted it back. He needed it back. Why hadn't he killed her when he had the chance? She was the enemy. He hadn't even seen her in 14 years. Why had he hesitated? You're a sucker for an empowered woman. Reynardo kicked himself. Don't make that mistake again. Zenobia thought the stone was evil. Was it? Well, yes, but he still longed to have it back. He'd felt so good killing ravens with it, and yet he'd felt unclean ever since he'd touched it. She confused him. She'd made him want to be a better fox, and then she'd abandoned him, never telling him she was the Emperor's daughter, never contacting him since. Well, who was she to tell him the stone was evil?
Yep.
Energy cannons. The last argument of kings. Hey, who do I have to kill to get a drink around here? You? Okay.
I really like the eyesore. I don't know if I love it so much.
scientist's toes were pointing arcane instruments at the stone and looking at it through prisms and reflections.
Mine, said Renato as he took back the stone. Well, we need it for science,
Croaked the toads. So he killed them. He felt better immediately.
Wow.
Smarter, too.
I thought you'd never come for me,
Whispered the stone. Then, a far-speaker toad croaked in something like Zenobia's voice.
Renato, leave the stone with the toads. It will swallow your soul. You'll kill everyone you love.
That did seem vaguely familiar. But Renato had an army to lead, an empire to bring down.
Scary hurrying down this one.
Whispered
Oh
the
boy.
stone.
Let's see
It
what
was
ending we
right.
get.
Wasn't Zenobia the Emperor's greatest general? Wasn't Renato fighting for the rebellion? Of course she wouldn't want him to have it.
Wouldn't you be a better emperor than Isaac III?
Added the stone.
Oh boy.
You know what? I would, thought Renato. Or maybe he said it out loud. He would go see the council and lead their armies to victory. All he had to do was call them on the far speaker. Ah, damn. Well, wouldn't they be surprised anyway?
Okay, I think I'm gonna save it here and start the next video part of the video, which is part.
Ah, the ruins. Renato had come there as a kid when it was still the fabulous city of Ubar. Before the Emperor's ravens had come to pillage ancient books from its library and destroyed it. Now the rebel council lay hidden underneath the ruins. And between here and there, all these ravens to kill. They deserved it for what they'd done to the city. And the faster he could kill them, the more of a rush they gave him.
So I guess I'm gonna save it here because I don't know, I'm getting paranoid and I wanna
Lucretia had been the first woman who'd ever tried to convince Renato he was smart.
Alright,
He wasn't
so
nearly as clever as he thought he was.
see you guys in the next part.
But she'd pushed him to think things through. She had a vision of him that was better than his own.